Now, this is a video I didn't want to create, but I'm hoping that you and I can both learn some lessons through what I'm going to share about my YouTube channel being hacked. I already announced it on the same day that it took place, but here I want to talk about some of the lessons and some of the things that really saved me compared to other YouTube channels.
As many of you would already know, our YouTube channel got hacked last week.
Corridor Crew, we've removed your channel from YouTube.
Now, on the 22nd of August at around 19:30 UK time, we noticed that someone had changed the title or the name of my YouTube channel. They had changed some of the graphics. They started live streaming an Elon Musk crypto video. They then started marking all our videos as private. Now, this happened really, really quickly, so it was definitely automated in our opinion. It happened too quickly for a human to manually go and make those changes to the channel. Now, when we noticed this, one of the first things I did was remove the person that had editor privileges on my YouTube channel. Now, this was a good thing because an editor cannot delete a channel or published content. All they were able to do is mark all my videos as private. They weren't able to delete my videos. They weren't able to delete my channel. They couldn't change the permissions, as an example. They couldn't delete or reset streaming keys. So as the owner of the channel, I was able to go in. I removed the current stream keys. I reset them. I went and deleted the live stream. And then I started restoring the channel, like setting the name back to what it should be. David Bombal, I changed the graphics back to what they should be. And then I had to go back manually and set all the videos back to public. Now, we were very fortunate. I think within about 30 minutes, we were able to get the channel back to what it should be.
All in all, Corridor Crew was completely unresponsive for 5 days, and we lost tens of thousands of dollars in that period of time.
I really want to thank those of you who have reached out with your support, who have left fantastic comments. Some of the comments were interesting, let's put it that way. It's always amazing how some people will try and kick you when you're down. But I really want to thank all of you who supported me during this, and I really want to express special gratitude to Neal Bridges. Neal has unfortunately just had some really bad news. He's got stage 4 cancer. So the day before he went into hospital and had tests done, he actually helped me restore the YouTube channel, gave me some advice on some of the messaging to send out, and I really want to thank Neal for his support. He's been on my channel multiple times. He has shared advice with all of us on how to improve our lives and get into cyber. But he's also helped me tremendously. So a real shout out and thanks to Neal Bridges. Please send your love to him during this difficult time. We want to wish him all the very best. Now, I made some announcements on Twitter and in the YouTube community just to let you know what had taken place. There were a lot of comments about, did you not have 2FA? And this is what's interesting. The person involved did have two-factor authentication enabled. They were using a password manager, and they still managed to get into the YouTube channel. Now, some hackers also tried to phish John Hammond, and he did a whole analysis of the malware that they tried to infect his computer with. So if you want to get into the really technical details of some of the malware that was used to try and attack John, have a look at that video below. Now, in this case, malware was also used. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same malware that John encountered. We're still continuing our investigations. Some people believe that I should fire the person involved for falling for a phishing campaign or, allowing this to happen. But I just want to remind you that Jim Browning, someone with millions of followers on YouTube who deals with scammers, had his channel deleted through a phishing type attack. So he fell for this. Now, if someone like that can fall for an attack like this, don't assume that it's not going to happen to you. You think it'll never happen to you until it happens. This kind of stuff can happen. We are all humans. We all make mistakes. At the end of the day, I have to take responsibility for what happened to my channel. Hackers are able to use social engineering to get into companies around the world. There are many, many names. Just recently, LastPass had an issue with a developer account. Twitter being a famous one. Many, many out there. Don't assume that it's never going to happen to you. Okay, so some takeaways. The person involved here had editor privileges. That kind of limited what the attackers could do. They couldn't delete my account, as an example. They couldn't take control. They couldn't lock me out of the account. I was able to kick them out, but they couldn't lock me out. So fortunately, it was an account that had lower privileges that was attacked in this example. The person involved did have two-factor authentication. Don't believe that that will always save you. Two-factor authentication can be bypassed, and this was an example of that. It's happened to other YouTube channels as well. Now, in this example, the person was using a Windows computer. So personally, my takeaway is I won't allow anyone to use a Windows computer if they want to access confidential stuff such as my YouTube channel. I will force them to use a Mac or Linux. I'm kind of disappointed with Windows, but that's just my personal opinion that this attack was able to take place. So I won't use Windows. And I won't allow anyone to use Windows. I will force the use of two-factor authentication with an external two-factor authentication device, and I will try and limit what people have access to. So reduce privileges. Don't give people too much access. Reduce the privileges. Now, some good news. Once again, I warned people who are part of my David Bombal website that their emails could have been breached. At the moment, it looks like that didn't take place. Teachable have told us that there doesn't look like there was any malicious activity on the website using our accounts, so that looks fine. One of the things I decided years ago is that I would not store credit card information. I would not store passwords. I've always tried to use third-party systems such as Teachable. Try and collaborate with other companies such as Udemy. I don't have access to your email address or your password on Udemy. I don't have access to your credit card information. I prefer that. Now, I want to share some lessons that I think both I and you can learn through this experience. I just need to preface this with a disclaimer. This is not legal advice. This is just my opinion based on my experience. This is what I'm going to change and what I've learned through this experience. So just remember, it's not legal advice. First thing is have friends that can help you, or have people that can help you. I really want to thank Neal once again for phoning me and helping me during this attack. So make friends with good people. Have good people on your side. Also have a good team. Now in this case, it looks like one of my team members made a mistake. But invest in your team. Teach your team. People are going to make mistakes. All of us make mistakes. If someone like Jim Browning can fall for a phishing campaign, it can happen to all of us. Have a plan in place if something does happen. As an example, the Corridor crew, when they lost their YouTube channel, was still able to put their video on their website. And that's something that I'm going to do a lot more. So if you go to my website, courses.davidbombal.com, I'm going to be uploading a lot of content there. I'm going to make sure that if something does happen to my YouTube channel, people can still watch my content on my website. Now, one of the requirements in the UK is that you have to tell people within 72 hours of a data breach. I phoned the ICO, which is the organization that is in charge of this kind of thing in the UK. And they basically told me, look, you're not sure that a data breach took place, so you don't have to report a data breach. Okay, big lesson. Two-factor authentication can be bypassed. Corridor crew had the same problem.
Christian's account had two-factor on, so the only possible way I could think they got in is they got into his phone as well.
I don't know how that's possible.
Two-factor authentication was used on an account. It was bypassed. Same thing happened here. One of the things that I'm going to start doing for all team members is using a YubiKey. I want to make that a policy that anyone who has access to confidential data uses a YubiKey or something like that, so that we do not rely on two-factor authentication on an application as an example, but have an external device. I think that will make our security posture a lot better. One of the things that helped us during this, and I think it's something that I'm going to do more and more, I think we can definitely improve, is compartmentalizing permissions or access to data. First thing I'll say is I hate email. Email is a nightmare. Phishing emails, this kind of stuff is such a problem. We will either by people or by systems stop someone who has access to emails, who receives emails on behalf of the company, having access to other systems. So kind of separate stuff, because it looks like a lot of this stuff comes through dodgy emails. Big lesson is don't give people more access than they need. In the team, I'm going to restrict who has access to what and lock things down more and more. Now, as always, you need to be vigilant. We need to improve our systems. There's a lot of things that I need to improve on. I'm going to be creating a lot of videos, as an example, talking about ways to improve security. One of the topics I want to talk more about is PFSense, a better firewall than perhaps some of the firewalls you may encounter. Tom Lawrence is a fantastic person to follow. He has a lot of great content on his website. Go and follow him so that you can learn about how to deploy security in businesses. He supports a whole bunch of businesses. I think we can all learn a lot from people like Tom and others who support companies day to day. Another lesson is antivirus isn't going to stop everything. Even if you've got antivirus on your systems, malware can get past it, software can get past it, especially if it's new. So even if you've got antivirus on your systems, it's not going to save you. You've got to have multiple levels of security. Don't just rely on one thing. Now, I could have posted this video earlier. I was actually hoping to get more information, but at this point, we're still investigating. So that's all I can share. Takeaway from all of this, it was a really bad experience. Can't say I want to repeat this, but hopefully we can all learn from this. Attacks take place. If you are working with other people, they may not attack you, but they'll attack someone in your family or someone in your company. All it takes is one person in your organization to download malicious software, click on a link or something like that, and this kind of thing can take place. Now, I really want to thank all of you who have supported me through this. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for going on a journey with me. I really want to ask, because it's affected my YouTube channel quite badly, please make sure that you subscribe. Please make sure that you click on the bell to get notifications, because that really does help me. And this has affected my YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure a lot of people decided to unsubscribe when they saw this stupid video going out. And I'd really appreciate it if you can share the news with others. What are your tips? What do you think I could have done better? I'm sure I'll get some snarky comments. I've had a lot in the last few days. My advice is ignore the haters. Make sure you spend time with people that want to help you, people that build you up rather than break you down. But with that, I want to thank you for watching my videos. I want to thank you for your support. I'm David Bombal. Stay safe and all the very best.